Hey, welcome to another episode of the InNOLEvation Mindset podcast powered by the Moran College of Entrepreneurship. I am Mark McNees, your host. And in studio today, we have Michael and Alina Johnson of Adoro Photography. How you doing, guys? Thanks for coming in.
Great.
Thank you for having us.
Tell us a little bit about yourselves. I know, Alina, you're from Russia. Let's start with you. Tell us, how did you get to Tallahassee?
Originally, I came to U.S. 22 years ago on a student program. And then I was in Panama City Beach for a long time, till actually Hurricane Michael hit.
Oh, wow.
And I already, at that time, was dating Michael. And when Hurricane Michael hit our side of town, we decided to move the kids to Tallahassee since he was from Tallahassee, and that's how we ended up here.
Okay, great. And Michael, a little bit about your background?
I wouldn't say dating. I would say madly in love. You got to be dramatic when it comes to that. My background, I was from Florida, Tallahassee, moved away when I was 18, came back. I was in broadcasting. My whole family background is all master photographers.
Okay.
My grandmother's work is in the Smithsonian. I was the only one that went to school for it, hated it, didn't want anything to do with the camera.
And then he met me.
Right. And then I met my better half, and then the worlds collided. The lightning struck.
Right on.
Thunderclap.
Nice. So you've been back in Tallahassee since what year?
2018.
2018. And when did you start your business or your, I guess, journey into what is currently...
So 2010, I was actually fascinated with photography in general, but I didn't know what direction I wanted to take. I was just actually looking at my friend's photos with this blurry background. I was like, oh my gosh, how does she do it? And why are her kids' photos are so amazing? So I took a little bit of the classes here and there online at first, and then I fell into a wedding photography world on 30A. Because that to me was the magic. The whole thing about those weddings was just out of the magazines, and I wanted to photograph just that, which I did for the longest time. I didn't do anything else, no families, no nothing, till actually I met Michael. And that's when he's like, why are you only photographing weddings? We can do more.
Okay.
So he pushed me more into the other genres. And to this day, we are still opening new genres every year.
Well, very nice. Very nice. So what are some of your specialties and what you are doing a lot with, and what genres are you interested in? And yeah, just tell us a little bit about your business.
Okay, I'll start and you can add, honey. And after doing a lot of weddings and adding the beach photography for family, which we still do to this day, almost every week we drive to 30A because it's half of our business.
Okay.
Mostly families' surprise proposals on the beach is amazing, not only on the beach, but that is one of the biggest milestones that's elevating. And everybody's in this shock and happiness and just like floating in these high emotions. And we also do a lot of senior photography as well. That's on 38, like Rosemary Beach, Alice Beach, all of those towns. But here in Tallahassee, we do have a studio. So that's when you see us do a lot of branding and headshots and kids' photos. Now, the new one, since last year, we added is boudoir for ladies. And it's not just for your partner. It's also for yourself. It's for a lot of women, it is this, I don't even know how to put it. It elevates.
Okay.
Kind of who you are as a woman, not for somebody else, not all those hats we wear as moms, as business owners, as professionals, but just you as a feminine side of you. So
I got it.
Have you ever done a boudoir shoot before?
No, but I'm wondering if I've seen online people do, particularly females do like celebration photo shoots, like they've hit a fitness goal or something. Is that kind of the same thing or no?
It's similar. It's similar because we did a promo a few years ago. It was Fabulous 40, over 40, for ladies to celebrate their achievements, which include different things. It could be like the goals, like fitness goal, if you overcame, let's say, cancer or something. So now we shifted because boudoir is different. It's more intimate. It doesn't have to be lingerie at all. It's all about just the kind of angles and lighting and shadows.
Okay, so it's it's a little more intimate and
That's why I asked if you ever did one. Like, we need to do a boudoir.
Oh.
We're still waiting for
boudoir.
the first
Let's go
guy to
do
come
that.
in and do like the George Costanza pose. With the tiger rug.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be a part of it.
I don't know. Yeah,
We'll send you an email. We'll set it up.
I like the comedy aspect. So besides comedy, Michael, what do you do?
I'm Alina's glorified assistant, and I would say second shooter. And I really started with her, like assisting her and watching her.
Okay.
Because photographers, they're very different. Like some photographers, they specialize in just one thing, and they don't do a wide variety of things. If you're going to survive and you're going to have a business and you want to be successful, you got to be able to shoot multiple things, not at one time, but throughout the year. May through September, when we're on 30A, 90% of our business is families from all over the country. It's not Florida. Like, we have no clients from Florida pretty much, maybe 2% from half of the year. And then redirecting the business in the other half of the year and doing branding, doing headshots, working with realtors. Locally in Tallahassee, Fasken Brooks, like all the billboards you're seeing of Fasken Brooks that are in the airport, the mall, right across from Florida State. That's all us. And that actually started from me reaching out to Dana Brooks about her dog. We were doing a dog promotion, and I know Dana is obsessed with her dogs. And I messaged her on Facebook, and I was like, hey, you have to bring the dogs in here. We were doing this for like a couple of days. And then it turned into they wanted to completely rebrand and go a new direction photography-wise, and they selected us.
Yeah, actually, their branding is fantastic. A lot of times I'm like, wow, that's like the best looking people in that firm. So are they that good looking, or are you guys that good?
Oh, they're good looking, but we have tricks.
You have tricks too.
We're tremendous plastic surgeons. Not that Craig Richards needs that or anything, or Jimmy Fasig, but Alina, she's very good at getting someone comfortable and doing it fast, because we don't have that much time with them individually, but she's very relaxing. And if she's relaxing, it comes out in the portraits, comes out in her editing, and it all like mixes together and you see the final product. And when you're that big on a billboard and you're 10 feet tall in the air, everything has to be perfect. And she's a perfectionist when it comes to master art, retouching, and editing. That's the back end of the business.
I'm really glad you guys brought that up, because that is definitely like something I've consciously, and I don't think about billboards a lot, but I'm like, wow, whoever like takes their pictures and like sets that up, like from just how you capture just them, but also just how well it's put together with their clothes and just the whole thing.
We definitely help our clients, and we do a pre-session consultation when we talk about their brand colors, what we're going for, because also it translates to me what poses I'm going to do. Because let's say if it's a defense attorney, maybe the pose has to be aggressive.
Yeah, exactly.
And if it's, let's say, I don't know, like another type of profession, like a nurse, I can never do the same poses. So I have to do it in my mind even ahead of time. That's why we talk about different ideas and how they want to come across to potential viewers, so I know my back end.
We haven't done a proctologist yet. I don't know what kind of pose we would do for that. Inviting.
Oh, God.
Maybe.
You make me
Have you ever seen, Michael, you're going to get me in trouble here, but have you ever been going down 75, and I think it's just north, it's maybe around Gainesville, and there's the vasectomy guy. Have you seen that picture?
Yes, I have. And you know what? So there was a photographer that had to take that. And without, I'm sure, if you're going to trust a photographer, which that's a big word that we use with clients, is trust.
It is, yeah.
Because you have to talk with them and you have to see what angle they're coming at, and you have to see who they're trying to attract. So billboards are attracting people. And with lawyers, you may want that non-smiling type to know that's a shark coming in, or you may have had a son that's in an accident and you want someone that is listening to them and caring about them and actually wants to be in front of them. So it's that we take that into consideration a lot too with clients, and especially their professions, because they're spending a lot of money on that. So we have to be right. And Alina, she always hits it out of the park with those.
But also another part of it is they're in control choosing which photos they want to get. So right after the session, usually we sit down and we go through them together.
Okay.
And they're the ones who approve, okay, I actually love this photo because of this and this. And, or this is totally me. When I hear that comment, oh my gosh, we hit the home run, because that's what we're going for. That's what their clients will want to see. So that's why, like, for them to stay in control is also a big part of it. Like when they choose the photos.
Really cool, really cool. So tell me a little bit about the challenges and just different technologies coming up, like AI, and then there's so much stock photography out there. How do you envision the future of your business? Especially you see like on LinkedIn and they're all like, hey, you get 10 AI generated photos for whatever, $10 and things like that. I'm sure you guys have thought about it. Like, how are you going to compete in the future, and what's your value proposition, and what's your thoughts on all of that?
Yeah, and it's all like a multi-layered thing because we use AI to help us in the business in general. GPT and Photoshop has some AI features that are very useful because it speeds up our editing or retouching. But as far as the genres, some genres will suffer. And we are not really competing with those genres because our important ones are milestones for people that AI cannot create or recreate. Because if it's somebody's surprise proposal, what are they going to just put it in AI and say, create that moment for me and make sure she acts surprised? No, no, people won't do that unless it's just... It's going to be messed up if they do that. Yeah, so basically for us, it's the milestones that the AI will not create for people because it all is connected to their feelings and love for each other. So that is what is going to drive our business for forever.
All right.
And culling in photography, I've seen like the biggest benefit with that too, because if she goes and shoots or if I shoot, like the first thing we look at as a couple and we work together is like, how many shots did you take? And that could be 1,200, could be 1,900 in an hour. And with AI,
I think it's a little less.
Yeah, it's a little less, but it could be high. Depends if it's a wedding or what it is. But with AI and the culling, it takes away blinkers, takes away out of focus shots, and it narrows it down for you. On the back end, what I'm seeing the worst of is sales, because we do in-person sales, and we have to put watermarks all over pictures when we're showing them because they haven't purchased anything. Right. AI can take that off, and it's really easy to screenshot now, superimpose, and actually you can print, and that's a part of the business that we've tackled, and we're working around it. But AI is just going to keep getting smarter, and not to say we're getting dumber, but we're trying to keep up with it.
Yeah, exactly. Interesting. Tell us a little bit about your in Bannerman Crossings. When did you set up shop in Bannerman Crossings? And I would imagine, tell us a little bit about your space.
Okay, so we actually were first in downtown. We rented a small, tiny room, like
right next to the Entrepreneurship building.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that's what we were trying to see if we want to do any headshots because we were new to Tallahassee. It's like, what do we do here? And then we moved to Midtown for about a year and a half to a different building. But again, it was a smaller space and not exactly how I envisioned it because we specialize in creating wall art for our clients and physical, beautiful keepsakes like albums and books. And all of our labs are they're from Italy and Scotland, New Zealand, Australia. So we have a lot that locally you can't find. So how do you show it? When you have small space, you have no space to show anything. So when the opportunity came about in Bannerman Crossings, and first I was not sure if that space would work, but once it was empty from the previous tenants and we did the walkthrough, I'm like, oh my gosh, that can work. And it did. And we designed it, and now we have that space to showcase all of our products because that's a big part of our business. Not just to deliver digitals, but actually to present something for each family to have in their home.
Okay.
Yes.
And like in business, just like with anyone, we grew. When we came in 2018 from Hurricane Michael, we didn't have a studio. We shot outside. We were 100% mobile. And in our first studio, we found out that it was way too small. And she was shooting down a hallway on some of the shots that we were doing in there. And the second studio was a little bit bigger. Third studio was really big. And now we can do more. So we were limiting ourselves, but we were also just getting started in the studio realm of photography because it's a totally different type of shooting. Alina, she was shooting outside and doing a lot of not landscape shots, beach, weddings. You go into a studio, and now, just like this podcast, you're controlling light, you're controlling a dark space. You're trying to fit 4 people into a spot where you can only fit 2. And she got bigger, the studio got bigger, so we had to adapt. This is our 3rd one in Tallahassee, Bannerman Crossings.
Okay, great. I know you guys are graduates of the Jim Moran Institute of Global Entrepreneurship's Small Business Executive Program. Tell us a little bit about that. When did you go through it? What got you connected with JMI?
So I took that class in 2022. And Ashley Guy, who owns Tallulah stores, she is the one who sent me the link. So I applied. Marina replied to me, and that's how I got into the program. It was amazing because not only did I meet some people I knew from Facebook, I met them in person. And to this day, sometimes when I say I was in that class, sometimes I meet people and they're like, oh, I was in that class, or I was one of the presenters. And the information was actually very valuable because you don't hear it on a daily basis as a business owner. You know some of it, but you don't know it in depth. So every presentation was amazing. So that's why I highly recommend going through that. I wish they had it like maybe extension of it every year or something. I don't know, because it's definitely great. Yeah, so that's that part.
Great. And couples, I think you were saying earlier, couples, they encourage couples not to go through it together. Is that right? Or did I misunderstand that?
So basically, from what I know, even husbands and wives, usually they take them separately, so not together. So I want Michael to go through that separately so he can learn some more information and then share with me.
Okay, fantastic. So Michael, you haven't gone through it yet.
Not yet.
All right, but you're going to. And you guys mentioned you're part of the peer-to-peer network. Do they let Michael be part of the peer-to-peer network?
No, I have to do it because I
have
graduated.
to do it. So tell us a little bit about peer network.
Yes.
What is it? How is it? Has it been a benefit to you in your personal and professional growth?
Yes, absolutely, because we meet monthly. And it's definitely great to hear from entrepreneurs, the local ones, and share. It's all NDA, so we can discuss issues outside of that circle. But it's all based about the business, the employees, how you deal with this issue, what do you do in this case or this case? So it's been very interesting to hear because I'm in one industry and all of them are in different industries. And it's very great to hear even like how people have exit strategies. And I never even really thought about it. But now I'm like, maybe one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's great. It's definitely helpful.
Yeah, I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, obviously, in the college and outside of the college as well. And I always bring up exit because you're going to exit one day, one way or another, right? Everybody exits eventually. And do you want it to go to your family or your kids? What's the succession program? Or do you want to sell? So really thinking through. I feel like entrepreneurs so many times, like we think so much about ramping up, but we don't give nearly enough thought of, okay, when is it time to move on? And what does that look like for me? And it can look lots of different ways. You can pass it on, you can sell it, and things like that. So that's it. I'm glad you brought that up. So Michael, you look like you want to say something.
No, I'm just thinking about. I'm thinking about which kid we have that we're gonna make do this business, and we'll just sit on top of them and tell them what to do.
I don't think they'll ever do that.
Yeah,
I don't think
so.
I think
either.
their personalities are completely.
I think they
different
see how
from us.
crazy we are in our business. They're like, no, I'll do something else. That's fine. You guys can have it.
Right on. At the end of each podcast, I always ask my guests the same question. If you could tell yourself one thing, if you could go back in time and tell yourself one thing before you started your company, what would that one thing be? And let's start with Alina.
I would say don't be scared because I was scared that nobody's going to hire me because I have an accent and my last name was different and I thought nobody's going to hire me because they can't pronounce my name and Michael's probably going to laugh at me right now because he's like, what are you talking about? Yes, that was a legit fear for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And Michael?
I was the complete opposite. I don't know why you answered that way. I'm like, everyone wants to hear your voice. They love an accent. They'll spend more money if they hear you talk than me. If I was a Mercedes dealer, I'd much rather buy that car from you than me. I'd be like the used car salesman trying to sell you that thing. you would know what you're talking about.
But see, that's all in your mind. That's what I'm saying. There's so many years of doing that. Doesn't matter. It was just a mental block.
We all have fears, and if you don't take that step, you can't be successful. So that's a good word. Michael, how about you? What would you tell young Michael?
Deep breaths, therapy earlier, and don't rush into things. I would tell myself, stop and think. Don't just jump into it.
Okay.
Because I'll jump. High dive, I'm jumping off. Deep breaths, think about it.
Right on. I really appreciate you guys coming in today. Really interesting story. And real quick, how can people find you? What's your Instagram and website and all that good stuff?
All right. So the website is ti-adoro.com with a dash.
Oh, and I'm sorry. We were going to talk about the meaning behind
Teodoro. Yeah, it means we adore you. Mm-hmm. And the reason is, Michael, I think you should
we were laying in bed.
Oh, no, God, no, that story.
It's PG show. We were laying in bed, and we were thinking of different names for the business, and it really matched where we came from, like where we were shooting on 30A, because it's very European. It's European architecture. A lot of the businesses down there lean towards that type of name, and we wanted it to be different. We wanted it to be something that nobody can pronounce when looking at it, obviously, but it matched us. I don't know. We didn't even think twice about it. Once we said it and we found it, we were like, that's it.
Right on. So sorry, I interrupted. I just remembered. Oh, well, you have an interesting name. We need to talk about that. Okay, tiadoro.com.
With a dash, ti-dash.
Oh, ti-dash. Okay.
Adoro.com.
And then
just Google best photographer in Tallahassee. It'll pop up.
All right.
It's number one.
Right on. And how else can people find you?
So we're on Instagram. So it's Teodoro Studios Tallahassee.
With the dash or no dash?
So it's like an underscore in between all those little words. And for the beach location, we have Teodoro Studios. So,
okay.
Yeah. So those two are the main ones.
All right. Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much for coming in today.
And thank you.
Thank you. Loved it.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to another great episode of the InNOLEvation Mindset podcast powered by the Moran College of Entrepreneurship. Hey, do us a favor. If you like this episode, drop us and also subscribe so you never miss another amazing episode. And hey, we love comments and we always answer all the comments. We look forward to hearing from you. We'll see you next time.